Hola, internet amigos. Does the video look good? Does my bum look big in this? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I have my camera back. I caught up with the landlady, and she had the camera still. Can we do a deal? My A6700, which I love and adore so much. So that's why I've been happy lately. Yes, I have a video coming. It's a really good one on Spycatcher and how past is prologue and the missing scientists, and we can go over the past, knocking off scientists, scientists defecting, come under investigation by MI5.
In fact, MI5 files listed 35 eminent persons as Soviet agents. These people worked in the highest levels of British government, industry, academia, and so on. Many were interviewed by me, and a number of them either committed suicide or died mysteriously shortly after they became aware of my interest in them. In other words, there was good reason to suspect that the establishment was rotten to the core with Russian agents. I know this because of my investigations into the rings of influence spreading out from the Ring of Five. I was stopped in this because my investigations were embarrassing.
Suddenly they disappear, suddenly they're in Moscow, suddenly they're running, down there in Beirut or whatever, or they're suddenly dead or committing suicide. We're going to talk about that. I've done the video, I just got to edit it.
All right, as we reported last night, 11 U.S. scientists, some tied to highly sensitive government work, are now dead or missing, raising very serious questions about national security. The White House has launched a probe into the mysterious disappearances, with President Trump now vowing to get answers within days, calling the situation pretty serious.
These people worked in the highest levels of British government, industry, academia, and so on. Many were interviewed by me, and a number of them either committed suicide or died mysteriously shortly after they became aware of my interest in them. In other words, there was good reason to suspect that the establishment was rotten to the core with Russian agents.
But what I want to do now is show you something from Forbes, which is really, really fascinating, which is talking about all the hysteria about Trump and the manifesto of the alleged shooter, and Tucker Carlson calling Trump the Antichrist. This is just gold.
So you alluded to the target being cleared by the manifesto. The only name in the manifesto is Kash Patel. He cites Kash Patel.
He leaves him out.
Which he says he's not, Kash Patel's not a target. Right. He does say, and I want to apologize for using this language, but he does say, quote, "I am no longer willing to permit a pedophile, rapist, and traitor to coat my hands with his crimes," unquote.
Who is he talking about?
First of all, that's outrageous. I mean, there's a lot of other...
Yeah, that's right. He's just hanging with pedos for 40 years, Come on. The way he talks about his daughter, come on. Yeah, all the teenage, Miss Teenage, thinking with his little pee-pee every 5 minutes. That's impossible. It's impossible. There's just no way. The Republic hanged. Ladies and gentlemen, come and spin around. The Republic hangs by a thin thread, and we must back this piece of garbage Trump. You've got J.D. Vance, okay? The pre-prepared lodge talker, Yale, is he Harvard or Yale graduate? Probably Skull and Bones. Peter Thiel's boyfriend. Just put him in. He's good enough, for crying out loud. What's the problem? Why do you have to have this clown in? Heritage, why?
things you could have referred to. This guy is a hater. He hates Trump so much.
He hates. That's what it is. He hates. That's why half the population is turning on you, dumbasses.
Wants to kill him.
Is he talking about Trump in that?
You're going to have to ask him that. Okay. I don't really care.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah, I'm just the Attorney General. I don't care. Yeah, okay. Great.
President Trump has now horribly been the target of 3 assassinations.
Oh, horribly.
That we know of.
Right, that we know of, exactly.
There's obviously a lot of incendiary language out there, horrific language.
He's the hero. Trump's going to save us. They're trying to kill him. The deep state. Oh, you mean all his friends at the Atlantic Council and the Council on Foreign Relations and Yale and Harvard? You mean all those people?
Out there, I just quoted from
who he's arresting. Fauci's in jail. Bill Gates is in. No, nobody's in jail. I don't know. 5 trillion missing from the Pentagon. Elon Musk. The fraud after fraud after fraud. The meme coins. Is there any level? All the stuff going on in the Pentagon with the betting and the corruption. I mean, they've taken it. I mean, the Democrats are amateurs, man. They've taken this is highbrow stuff now. This is hardcore corruption. Planes from Qatar, deep-seated, disgusting corruption of every kind with Jesus on their lips. I wouldn't mind so much if they said, we are from the lodge. We are universalist. Really, we're scientific rationalists. We believe in science and the science of numbers. And we just be honest. Half of you are these closet bisexual, homosexuals, pedophiles. I mean, everywhere you turn, there's this closet homo telling what a man he is and how tough he is.
One of the interesting things about the interview that your wife, Candace Owens, did with Andrew Tate, I might be wrong on this, I think that might be the first and only successful interview that Andrew Tate's ever had with a woman.
Right.
Is that right? Is Candace the first one? I know that the BBC tried one and it sort of blew up.
That didn't really work that well, yeah.
But Candace gave him a long interview, and I think she was fair with him. Do you think Andrew was maybe a little softer or less on his guard because he was being interviewed by a woman, by Candace?
I'm one of the Masons of Turning Point USA. To those of you who think that you are going to replace Charlie Kirk, okay? Kings are born. You don't just get to depose and tell us that we're going to follow this individual, okay? I'm one of the Masons of Turning Point USA.
Sartorial seems to be a fixer for the Tates based out of Dubai, referred to as their manager, a role that included trying to get Andrew Tate freed from prison and shipped to doctors in Dubai to deal with lung cancer that Andrew Tate didn't have. Then there's this jagoff standing next to Jewel, codenamed Alpha Wolf, who apparently missed his on-screen calling as a villain in Miami Vice.
I'm Alpha Wolf.
Okay.
My role is to be Alpha Wolf.
Okay, fair enough.
Miles Sonkin, pseudonym Egi Semmelweis, codename Shi Yan Hui, a particularly evil degenerate, who has pimped out his own wife and whose daughter he plans on trafficking when she becomes of age. Miles Sonkin, pseudonym Egi Semmelweis, codename Shi Yan Hui, a particularly evil degenerate, who has pimped out his own wife and whose daughter he plans on trafficking when she becomes of age.
I'm one of the Masons of Turning Point USA. I'm one of the Masons of Turning Point USA. I'm one of the Masons of Turning Point USA. I'm one of the Masons of Turning Point USA. I'm one of the Masons of Turning Point USA. I'm one of the Masons of Turning Point USA. I'm one of the Masons of Turning Point USA. I'm one of the Masons of Turning Point USA. I'm one of the Masons of Turning Point USA.
And you just know he's a closet homo. Is there, Alex Jones and his love of tranny porn and weirdness. And it's just like, do you have anybody who's not weird? Candace Owens, the Catholic Mason, with her homosexual boyfriend, Lord Farmer, who became a Catholic and just loves Andrew Tate. They're best friends in the lodge, with his photos with Candace doing the lodge photos, Scottish Rite Masonry. Blasphemous posts of Jesus. I mean, would he ever do, Tucker Carlson had a point. Would Trump ever do that with Chabad Lubavitch? I think we know the answer to that. Oh, what's not to love? They're pissing in our faces. Literally pissing. They're not even trying.
Some of it from the...
Look, if I'm a 16-year-old virgin in a nightclub, all right, you're going to have to try and approach me and seduce me. All right? You're going to have to try and tell me how beautiful I am. You can't just walk up, slather all over me with a stinking breath and say, this is all you've got, baby. Try harder, skull and bones.
From the alleged shooter who didn't get that from nowhere. That's a lot of crazy people saying a lot of horrific things. I want to play Tucker Carlson, your former
crazy people. Oh, okay.
Fox, last month talking about the president.
Here we go.
Here's a leader who's mocking the gods of his ancestors, mocking the God of gods, and exalting himself above them. Could this be the Antichrist? Well, who knows?
No, Tucker, the Antichrist is the AI they're putting in Israel.
That seems incendiary too, no?
Look, the whatever Tucker Carlson says is not relevant to me right now. I really don't care.
Because you all still work for Murdoch. That's why, in your little fake fight. How long, Lord? I've been around a while. I've been around the world, yeah. I can't find a normal person, politician / actor Is there anybody?
Do we have to put up with this? I mean, can't we get a better actor? I know it's a small part, but I think we can do better than this.
Where you go, oh, you lying bastard. But that's very clever. Very well done. You nearly had me. I'd be happy. But they just piss in my face. They just piss in my face. Yeah, we work for you. Just piss in my face. We're on our knees. Oh, thank you. You're saving me. Yes. But Fauci's not in jail. Piss in the face. But Bill Gates, no one's in jail. No one's in jail. What's going on? Shut up. It's just, I had some hope with Candace when she said Kay Griggs. And I thought, ooh, something going to shoot? Something happened? No. Nothing's happened in the fake fight. What colour were Charlie Kirk's underpants, ladies and gentlemen? Why did they put the lav mic here and not there? Why was he elevated by 1.3 feet that day? Oh, I don't know anything about ballistics and 30-06. Yeah, that's the evidence I need. 30-06, take head off. No, just little hole. So I think we don't need Candace to take us on our journey, on our wonderful journey through the intricacies of being an online sleuth to work out with the Egyptian aircraft and all the other crap she spewed. We don't need it. But they just hate us so much. They just piss in our face. They have captured the audience with Tucker and Carlson, and they all work for the same damn people. City of London. That should be obvious. You just gotta hope and pray. The old skull and bones boys. Yeah, that lot, coffin masturbators, and JD Vance, and Heritage Foundation, Project 2025, and they've all contacted me. Please, these things are handled quietly. Stop pissing in our face and get better actors. I think we deserve it. Don't you?
What he says. All I care about are the facts, the evidence, and what I can prove. All of this other stuff is noise. What we've got is a president of the United States. He is literally being targeted. He is being hunted. And our job, and the job of everyone in law enforcement, is to protect that president. I don't care what people on the outside say. I disagree with them entirely.
Yeah, it's so irrelevant what they say. You'd think they'd be very, very interested in what people say, but no, apparently. Sometimes I don't know what to say. I really don't. But here's what we do know, so we don't have to get lost in detail. I can't see the forest for the trees. Number one, 2008, $3.2 trillion was stolen by a banking and financial system that lives on drug money and gambling, and we know the results of that. Instead of cowering in fear, awaiting a mob to hang them and kill them and their families and pitchfork them, instead of that, they paid themselves bonuses and laughed. And America, you put up with it. And went, okay. You put up with it. Don't have to pay a cent back. You bailed out, and they paid themselves bonuses. And when it was raised, they said, I have to pay bonuses or else I won't get the best people. You mean the best gambling, drug money laundering pieces of shit? Oh no, what a tragedy. What a tragedy. No justice, 2008, and all the deaths and dying and suffering and all the rest that went along with it. And then, of course, we have the Pentagon, still no audit. It was $3.4 trillion when Rabbi Dov Zakheim was the comptroller, and good old Donald Rumsfeld on September the 10th, 2001 said, we are going to audit the Pentagon. The next day...
Sir.
Oh!
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Boom! No audit of the Pentagon. What's it up to now? $5 trillion missing? Because all roads lead to Israel. Once you hit Israel, it fans right out. It's in the tech sector, the drug money laundering, Elon Musk. It's all drug money. It's all hidden Cayman Island accounts are being drawn into the system. That's why Musk and that idiot Tesla, SpaceX garbage, it's got to be maintained because they need these big companies to put the money in. Otherwise, Apple will be $15 trillion. They've got to keep creating these fake companies. They're fake. When? When are you going to audit the Pentagon? They can't. Then you're going to find all the Israeli contractors, all the Russian contractors, City of London, all the deep penetration. Who's running your water, your power, your electrical, your banking front ends, the banking rear ends, the Pentagon front end, the Pentagon rear end. They're all freaking Israeli. How is that even possible? How? Biggest espionage case in history, because the dumb fucking guy will swallow any bullshit. They'll get pissed in their face, and instead of getting angry, oh, don't be angry. I'm sorry, America, you have 300 million firearms and an obligation to defend yourself and the rest of the world from these fucking demons. When? You're doing all your room clearing, fucking moron redneck? Well, next year, I'm forming the militia. Yeehaw, saddle up, people. No, you're not doing shit. They don't fear. They just laugh and piss in your face. And you just take it. What will it take, America? Fauci Gates. Full-blown criminality. How many 10-year-old girls and boys were kidnapped from the Eastern Bloc and raped and pillaged and murdered? Their anal passages, their rectums and their vaginas were violated till they bled and they screamed in pain and their bodies are buried. Oh, you think Jeff Epstein? He's the low end. He's a saint. Wait till you get the really nasty people. Where are the bodies? Do you remember all the pedophile rings in Belgium? Belgium royalty, nobles, and all the prostitute bodies that were discovered in their mansions and the pedophile rings? Do you remember? Do you remember? And we just go from one bullshit crisis to the next. What's the next shit bullshit we're going to put for the dumb goy rats? They don't even have the decency to give you a decent actor. They've got to humiliate the goy by leaving that orange stinking fucking clown Donald Trump in to embarrass us all. Everybody. You have a perfectly good actor in J.D. Vance. A closet bisexual, prearranged, lodge, well-trained, presidential, ready to take over. Where are the military? Where? How many are dead after the old vaccines with Fauci? And even Trump going, I don't want to kill half of America. Well, you did anyway. With warp speed. Nobody's in jail. Not even criminal negligence. On the record, no. Nobody ever goes to jail. Funny that. America, there's just no fucking hope. I just look and I'm wondering, see, psychopaths have to insult you. Psychopaths want to be caught. That's why they're doing this weird stuff like, Jesus, kill, Jesus, kill, Jesus, kill. And there's Trump mocking Christ with his garbage. And as Tucker says, would he ever have mocked Rabbi Schneerson and his Chabad friends? The answer is no. So what does it take, America? What does it take? What? What does he have to do? Does he have to walk up with his little tiny pee-pee and grab your daughter out of the crowd and rape her in front of you and just go, thanks very much, Jesus, I love Jesus, bye. And she's lying on the ground, bleeding. Is that what does he have to do? What? We can't, Brendan, because Kamala and the crazy woke left will get in. They ran both sides, you dumbass. For the life of me, America, you're something wrong with you.
What is our common bond truly? Freedom. Freedom. Without freedom, you can't be a Christian no matter what denomination you belong to. You can't be a Buddhist. You can't own a donut shop. You can't drive from here to Oregon. You can't be an American because that's what it's all about, and that's the only thing that it's all about. Nothing else. Nothing else. It's about freedom. Only freedom.